welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something I think pretty much everyone can relate to, that, sometimes weirdly joyful, sometimes really mortifying experience of looking back at our awkward younger selves.
Exactly. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and our mission here is really to figure out why. Why does roasting our childhood memories, digging them up and laughing about them, why does it hit home for so many of us? We've looked at, all sorts of evidence, old diaries, those truly awful school photos, family stories that just never die.
And it's really quite revealing, isn't it? Looking at these helps us pinpoint the emotional triggers, the funny connections. It's all part of growing up, really.
It really is. These aren't just like random embarrassing moments.
No, they're common threads. They show how we kind of stumbled into becoming who we are now.
Okay, so let's get specific. First up, the diaries. Oh man, these are probably the most raw look you can get, right?
Absolutely unfiltered.
Yeah. We found some gems in the sources, like an entry from a 7-year-old detailing this absolute crisis because mom would let them wear SpongeBob socks to school.
The drama. It's incredible.
The sheer intensity.
It really is. And what jumps out from these diaries is how incredibly serious we were back then about things that, looking back now, seem so, trivial.
Totally trivial.
There was another one we saw. A kid was genuinely convinced that someone stealing their pencil was, and I quote, a federal crime.
Oh my gosh, a federal crime.
Right, and the humor there, it's not just the situation itself, it's that huge gap, the difference between how we saw things then and how we see them now.
That gap is definitely where the comedy lives. Okay, so diaries captured the inner turmoil, but then there's the visual evidence.
Ah, yes, the public record.
Which is often way more horrifying. Let's call it the school photo horror show.
Brace yourselves.
Seriously, our sources were overflowing. The mushroom haircuts, the collars that look like they could double as hang gliders.
And the missing teeth. That classic gap-toothed grin.
Yes. And why did so many school photos from the early 2000s make little kids look like, tiny retired accountants?
It's almost like we were living in blissful denial back then.
We must have been.
And what's really interesting there is the cognitive dissonance, right? You genuinely thought you looked cool, or at least, okay.
Totally thought I rocked that bowl cat.
Exactly. But then the photo hits you with objective reality. Bam. And that's the funny part, that disconnect between how you saw yourself and, the photographic truth.
It's a stark reminder of how much changes, how our self-image grows up too.
Definitely.
Okay, moving from photos to stories. Family legends. These are the incidents that just get told and retold and retold.
They become part of the family canon.
Yeah, one source talked about cutting their own hair, trying to look like Barbie. Big mistake.
Oh, classic. Or the kid who tried to run away. Packed a backpack with nothing but, biscuits.
Biscuits, that's plan right there.
Solid survival strategy. But see, these aren't just funny stories. They become like these mini origin myths for the family.
Yeah, remember when.
Exactly. They get brought up for laughs, sure, but they also kind of mark milestones. They build the shared history of growing up together.
Right. So, okay, these moments can be cringy, embarrassing even.
Yeah.
So why do we love laughing about them so much? Why embrace the roast?
Well, a big part of it is nostalgia, but it's more than just missing the past. It's about integrating it, making peace with that younger, maybe slightly ridiculous version of yourself.
Okay, so it's healthy then.
In a way, yeah. Laughing at our past selves is actually a form of self-compassion. It's acknowledging the journey, the growth, instead of just cringing forever.
And the humor itself must do something too.
Absolutely. Humor is like a buffer. It takes potentially awkward memories and makes them shareable, makes them social.
Ah, okay. So you can talk about it without feeling too vulnerable.
Precisely. It fosters connection because, let's face it, we were all a bit silly growing up. It's universal, like that listener you mentioned who ate chalk thinking it was candy.
Oh, yeah. That story is gross.
You hear that and you instantly connect, right? Because we've all had those moments of, questionable judgment.
Yeah, we have. It makes you feel less alone in your weirdness.
Exactly. It's about recognizing these common, funny missteps as just part of developing. They're proof we made progress.
So what our sources really show is that whether we were having sock-related meltdowns, wearing truly questionable outfits, or planning escapes fueled by biscuits, our childhoods were kind of wild. Definitely full of learning, and looking back, pretty entertaining. We've all got the evidence.
Yeah, which leads to a final thought, really, for you listening. When you do look back at those wonderfully cringy, funny, maybe slightly mortifying moments from your past, What does that actually tell you about your own journey, about your resilience, and just the shared human experience of, becoming who you are today?